Okay, brace yourselves in 3, 2, 1, go.
Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! You know I need someone. Help! When I was younger, so much younger than...
All right, welcome to this week's episode of What We're Listening To. This is Nick.
And Courtney.
Hey.
What's up?
Help.
Help.
I wanted to give people a heads up because that song starts very aggressively. So, today's the 55th anniversary of the release of the Beatles Help album. And honestly, I think that's a pretty underappreciated album. And there's an awesome movie. So, I thought we'd throw this song in there.
Huge Beatles fan, Nick is.
Yeah. That has a ton of great stuff on it. Has Yesterday, I've Just Seen a Face, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, Ticket to Ride. It's a really good album. And the movie is hilarious. So you should watch it if you've never seen it. I think you can stream it on YouTube for free. I don't think that you have to pay for it.
Cool.
Anyway,
Technology.
how you doing? How's your week? What is up?
Yeah, it's been a wild week. It seemed to have gone by really quick. For anyone else?
There was a storm.
There was a storm. If anyone is listening from the east coast of the U.S., that hurricane moved up quite quick. We were driving.
Was it a named hurricane? Did they name it?
Isaiah.
Cool name. They're into like the really cool names now because there's no like normal quote unquote names left.
I don't know. Like, what's the naming protocol for a hurricane? Like, I feel like it can be reused, but only if it wasn't that powerful and like didn't make an impact. Why are you laughing?
No, it's like only if it didn't cause like massive destruction.
Yeah, well, like I think forever Katrina is always going to be
right.
You know, like everybody knows Hurricane Katrina, and then if you just like renamed another Hurricane Katrina, I feel like it would give people PTSD.
Yeah, like they're not gonna use that one again. Katrina is.
I'm sure there's plenty more that I'm not thinking of.
Harvey,
yeah.
Sandy, those are all pretty bad ones. I don't know. I just know that they go in order, and then when they get to the bottom of the alphabet, they just cycle back.
Right, but I feel like they can reuse names if it like wasn't above a certain category and or like has been a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, if any weather people out there,
let us know.
Let us know.
Naming protocols for hurricanes. Cool. How are you?
Good. I want to keep talking about that storm though. We were in the Jersey Shore.
Oh.
And we drove back to the Boston area, come home, and that was crazy. There was trees down everywhere. So I hope if you're listening to this, you are not in harm's way, and you also have power because I think there's like 400,000 people in New Jersey or New York State alone. I forget which one that don't have power right now. Crazy.
Wouldn't be surprising. There was really high winds, and note to future self, like if you're driving in a hurricane or after a hurricane, be prepared for gas stations to also be closed, which is not a thing that I thought of. I think we were like, okay, you know, the wind is fine. Be careful for downed trees and whatever, which, you know, the cleanup crews did a really great job and responded really fast. But then we were out of gas and drove around to a few gas stations. And because they had no power, you have no gas. Right. So that was a thing I didn't think of. So note to future self, that's a thing. You need electricity to run your pumps.
Certainly do. Yeah, I don't know. That was my main event of the week.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about music.
Cool. All right. First one that we have is one of mine. So we watched, the reason that I put this artist on here, and there also is an interesting story about this song, but we watched the Newport Folk Revival movie on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. We should talk about that. I cried a little bit. It was so
let's talk
good.
About it. It's worth it.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah.
It was really good. I don't want to give it all away. I just like they did an excellent job.
If you haven't seen it, I think it's over.
Oh, well then suckers.
Yeah.
Because it was it was great. I cried a little bit. I feel like, Newport always does a really great job of creating this community of artists and of people, attendees. It's just an amazing vibe. And if you've never been, like, get it on your calendar and go.
It's just different.
It's an incredible family. That's really the only way I know how to describe it is saying that it's a family. And it was really apparent by this video that they put out late last week, during the time when the festival would have been, but it has been canceled due to the pandemic. And they, the artists were on there talking about their times and their experiences at Newport previously. And it was just really obvious from the way that they talked about it, how much that community meant to them as artists. And I think, as fans, we've been for quite a few years in a row now, you more so than I have, but I think it's really tangible when you go, and then they put out this video and a bunch of artists collaborated and they did kind of digital sessions of songs, which was supplemented by a radio that they played all weekend.
Yeah,
of
the radio all
previous
weekend
sets.
was awesome.
Fantastic. We were just like reliving old sets of stuff. Anyways, Molly Tuttle was on it.
Yes.
Which is why we're talking about it.
The reason we're talking about Molly Tuttle right now is the first artist we're going to play is because she was on the Newport Folk Revival. It was Our Voices Together. I forget the actual name, and I'm sorry. But it was amazing, and she did a song on there, and she was really, really good. But I candidly wasn't really a big Molly Tuttle fan. Like, I knew that she existed and I knew that she was really well known for being a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah, she is.
But I didn't really know her style or music or anything like that. So she played a song during that video on Sunday. And turns out she released a song last Friday, and I was like, oh, well, that's great timing. What I didn't know was that this song was a cover. So, this is not the Molly Tuttle version. I'm going to play you a couple seconds of the song. Is called Olympia, Washington, as in Washington State, by the band Rancid, who is like a metal punk band. So enjoy this a little bit. So it's not really my style, although there was a period where I really listened to a lot of metal and punk and stuff. But she loved Rancid, grew up like listening to that kind of music.
Molly Tuttle.
Yeah. And since COVID started, she's taught herself how to record her own music and like Pro Tools and like all the stuff you need to actually put out a record. So she's putting out a cover album of her favorite songs.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, in like the next month or so. And this is one of them. And this is her version of Olympia, Washington.
1, 2, 3. Hanging out with Lars down on 6th Street. He knew I was in trouble. Feeling much like the devil. There was something burning deep inside me. Ran into 3 Puerto Ricans. These girls took us to the fun house where we played a lonely pinball.
So the cool thing, yeah, like I said, is she's releasing this album. It's gonna be called But I'd Rather Be With You, and it's just gonna be cover songs. And what's cool is that she learned this song last year on tour, how to play this song, because she had forgotten about it. Like, she hadn't listened to this kind of music since she was really young. Was on tour and actually went to Olympia, Washington. And then, like, she started thinking about, like, Olympia, Washington. I know that song, or I know that town name, or whatever it is. And so they learned...
You should know the name of the town, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so they learned the song and then played it that night.
Oh, cool.
At their show, and it's been a song that she either likes to play or whatever for, since I think December of last year. So then she decided to record it.
I have to say, like, if I was a musician of any kind, which I am not, Nick knows, but
No, you're great.
I feel, yeah. I feel like that recording an album of your favorite songs in your style of music is like a dream. I would love to do that. I would love to be a musician enough to be able to do that. I love this idea. Good on you, Molly Tuttle. I love that. That's awesome. I'm excited for the rest of it.
Yeah, I just love the fact that she learned how to, record and do all that kind of stuff because of COVID and having no choice. And then now she's going to release an album. Like, how cool is that? Talk about a positive byproduct of something like this.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and the song is very different than the original.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, like in your own style. And I feel like that takes vision, right? Like, Rancid's certainly not her style, but to be able to flip that on its head and say, okay, how do I play this song that I love so much that's maybe carried me through significant memories in my life and played in a style that is my own?
Which, by the way, you
really
can hear
cool.
right now. Is that it's called flat picking that she plays. And so it's like really fast. It's the flat side of a guitar pick.
Yeah.
And it's very unique sounding, and I guess she's like a master or virtuoso of it.
In the Newport video, we watched her play guitar, and her fingers move at a mile a minute.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
wild.
Cool. It's really cool.
I don't wanna be alone again. Hanging on the corner of 52nd and Broadway. Cars pass me by, but no one seems to go my way.
Do you know who she's singing with?
Yeah, it's Keith or Ketch Secor. Sorry, not Keith. Ketch Secor. And they did a duet on their tour together. Very similar to this, and that's how they recorded this.
He's
final.
his own artist. I have not heard of him.
Yes, I believe so.
Cool.
So the end of her quote about it says, "This song is so good and just makes me super happy for unexplainable reasons." So I like that. She's happy about it. Cool.
I'm excited to hear what's on the rest of that album. Looking forward to that.
Definitely. All right, What do we got?
You almost clapped into the microphone. Yeah, so I brought a song that I actually found last week that we didn't have time to cover, but I'm excited to talk about it this week. It is the title track off of the album The Balladeer by McKenna.
Yeah.
Are you excited for this one?
Yes, actually.
Good. I really like this one. So McKenna released a new album last week sometime, July 24th. Was that last week?
It was 2 Fridays ago.
Okay. Oh, my dates are mushing together. Time is a flat circle.
Yeah, I know. That's don't feel bad. That's everybody right now.
I'm excited because she's from Massachusetts.
Woo.
And she, has been a songwriter for a long time. I think the reason that she wrote this song, The Balladeer, it's interesting to listen to her talk about it in interviews. I think it really started as something that was about herself. Like she was like, "Oh, I'm a balladeer." Like the definition of a balladeer is a singer or composer of ballads,
right,
of like slow songs, and she sees herself as that. She's written a lot for other artists frequently. I don't know if you know Girl Crush, one of my jams. And Humble and Kind, like a lot of famous country songs.
Is a ballad just a slow, long story kind of song? Is that the best way to describe it?
Yeah. I don't know what. So the official definition is a singer or composer of ballads, but like a ballad to me feels like a song that really comes from like deep in the soul or like deep in your heart. It's generally like really thoughtful and powerful and like slow and passionate. Yeah. Some not always sad. I wouldn't say
I don't think
always
so.
Sad, but I would say maybe 80% sad.
I think it also doesn't have to, but I think it also should try to tell a story of some sort if it's a ballad.
Yeah. She is certainly a storyteller. This album in particular talks about tons of stuff. I mean, she talks about being a mother on a few of the tracks, Till You're Grown and When You're My Age. One song that I really love off this album, which we're not going to talk about today, but is one of my favorites, is called The Good Fight. It's about like this couple who has just, it's about a fight, a couple that goes through a fight, but just like being in love also, that's saying like, don't you dare make me laugh.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
pretty funny.
Don't you dare make me laugh. Like, I'm busy being mad at you.
See, that's a ballad.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, let's play this one. This is one of my favorite songs off the album, and it's very good.
All right. So The Balladeer by Lori McKenna. Here we go.
The balladeer waits in the wings, tugging on a dress, tuning her strings. All the whiskey faded, cigarette blown dreams. She brings herself to her own knees. With every line so delicate, she sings every song that she knows. The way that she hears them sad and slow. They're never gonna play her on the radio. So she hangs in the dark.
She's kind of describing like her life, or like how she performs music and how she feels about music. Am I right about that?
Yeah, and I think it transforms from that. Like, she originally started writing it about herself.
Yeah.
But it later in the song you get to lyrics that is more of a story about someone else that's not her.
You want me to stop talking?
No.
I can if you want.
She didn't know who she'd be if she put it down. So he brought her to the river where she could wash the trouble from her heart and let it shine like gold. Felt like angels pour mercy on her soul. And the weight of the world, she let it go. And she sang for the first time with her head held high and so much.
It's pretty cool. That like little crescendo in the middle of the song, which is like only possible if you're writing a ballad. You can't just have crescendos in short songs that don't lead anywhere. I mean, you can, but
It depends on how you're defining ballad.
I mean, this is kind of like the argument that I get into with people, like, what is folk music? And it's like, it can be so many things. And I think that's the beauty of folk music. It can be different for everybody, like the definition, right? I think you can probably perceive ballads in every genre in a million different ways. You know, what do you think a ballad should be? Should it be sad? Should it be a story? Should it be slow? Like, all these different things.
We should talk about what folk music is now on this show sometime.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's different for everybody. It should be different for everybody.
Very quickly, like, America is a melting pot, and folk music has reflected that, and genres have reflected that, and there's so many people out there making music that don't fall squarely into one genre, hence me like bringing up these very obscure subgenres of things that I think people just make up, like
swamp prog rock.
Yeah, current cosmic country, whatever.
No, that's me. I did that.
I just, nothing fits neatly into a box anymore, and that's cool.
Yeah, that's probably a longer discussion about folk, to be honest with you. But.
Well, something that I wanted to talk about Lori McKenna being from Mass, which I was excited about. She has played significantly at Passima, which is in Cambridge.
Oh, cool.
And
we lived in Cambridge, for those of you who care about this, until this past winter.
Yeah, she performed the debut of this album when it came out live at Club Pasima, but they're not open right now.
Right.
So they streamed it and are currently still streaming on Facebook and YouTube every single day. They have open mics all the time. It's like where a lot of artists
Do the artists go there?
Now they do. I think they were closed.
Well, at the height, they
like
weren't.
closed for a while, but as of recently, Lori was in there doing her.
Yeah, is that what you were watching of hers before? That's where that was
Yeah.
from. That was cool. I like that what you were playing.
They're super cool. So they've been open for over 60 years. They're a nonprofit. They've got a music school. They have this community of fostering new musicians and helping them get their start. And in interviews, Lori has attributed a lot of her kind of success in figuring out, quote, like if she was a good songwriter by being able to play at this venue. It's actually right next to the Sinclair.
Oh,
which
cool.
is a new music venue, which I know Nick knows where that is. But anyways, just shout out to Club Pasima if anybody's interested in looking for up and coming folk artists and stuff like that. They are streaming consistently on, like us, they are streaming consistently on their Facebook page and on YouTube. So check that out.
If you want to start a rival podcast against what we're listening to or talking folk, then Club Pasima is the way to go.
What?
We're letting people in on our secrets.
Okay.
Intentionally. I don't care.
You have to
Great.
drink.
Spread the word. Get the
Mai
get the word
Tais.
out there about this good music. I did notice that artists are doing that more. Or venues are doing this thing, and I'm assuming part of it may be to help these venues, and there's some foundations that are set up. You could easily search for them to help save small venues, and one of them has actually like made it to Congress as a proposal for a bill to instead of like the normal payroll protection plan that's out there, they're doing like a small venue one. That they're asking for that to be done because all these small venues where people go play music, other arts things are like gonna die, right? Which is really shitty. But I know Isabel and Amanda Shires did one from Nashville in a bowling alley, like a live stream, and I'm assuming a portion of the proceeds went to them for that. Plus, it was a cool stage for them to play at instead of their living room. So I would tune in for some live streams if I knew that was going to a good place.
Well, and honestly, like if any of our listeners are tuning into live streams and they're asking for donations, like think about it. I'm sure everyone that's listening is fans of music, and you'd be spending money on concert tickets or merch or whatever. I mean, find ways to support your artists and favorite venues. I think that's something that they're all really struggling with at the moment, and they need our help and support, and they are continuing to feed us great music through all of this. But if you're watching something, if you tune into a live stream and they're asking for donations, think about it. Even if it's just, $1 or $2, like whatever you can contribute, I'm sure is appreciated. As music lovers, as somebody that's listening to this podcast, we know you love music. So just, find something that 100%. You love and give a few bucks if you can.
Yeah. Ryan and I interviewed Nathan Kalish this week. And he's like, that's my livelihood. So, anything that we can help to, I think band tees and hats and all that kind of stuff are a great way to do it too, because streaming is so easy. Anyway, move to the next song. So the next song is Daniel Rodriguez, a song called Brother John. And a backstory, so you listen to the song correctly, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is he was a member of Elephant Revival. And Elephant Revival, they're a really fun band, more bluegrassy, probably is what I would say. They're leaning that way, more country bluegrassy kind of thing.
I would put them in that bucket. Yes.
Yeah.
In the same bucket as Trembled by Turtles. Maybe.
Yes, thank you. They were supposed to play Red Rocks a couple years ago and broke up. And they were led by Daniel Rodriguez and Bonnie Payne, who were in a relationship, and I guess the relationship also ended at the same time. So like there was a band relationship breaking and a personal relationship. I'm off to a really good start with this story.
Just goes to show, don't do stuff with your spouse.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But so anyways, they said they're going on indefinite hiatus. And I think they're okay now. But he released a song. He's 2 years later releasing his first solo album. And it's called Brother John. Or this song is called Brother John. But the whole song's about how music helps you through hard times and like heals you. And it's just a perspective of like, he puts on the persona in the song of like a hardworking guy who's got a lot of scars and things wrong and like uses music as his balm is like the word they use.
What?
Balm, B-A-L-M.
You pronounce the L's and everything and it freaks me out.
What do you say, bomb?
Yeah, bomb.
Well, I'm very articulate. So anyway, here's Brother John by Daniel Rodriguez.
Oh, Brother Johnny got a hard shell, but that music moves him so.
Are you still laughing at the bomb thing?
A soldier wounded long ago, but I've seen as those tears fall when that music's sweet and low. Oh, Brother John, Brother John. 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 How he's quick with his words.
So one of the things that I like is the sound is very different than Elephant Revival, and to the extent where like if you heard this, like the backing music sounds almost like it could be almost like a Jack Johnson song, like that guitar in there, that like really light, airy, sunny weather music that's going on in the background. I think is meant to be like a turning of the page and like this is, I feel okay now kind of thing. I think intentionally is like that sound. I really like it.
Nice. I like the sound too. Also, I have a like tropically sunny one coming up next too. So
perfect.
A good transition. No, I like the sound. I like the guitar in the background. It does kind of remind me. There's like a drinking game or a drinking song.
What?
Like it says brother la la, brother la la, da 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 da. So it reminds me a little bit of that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ask my brother. He knows about it. My brother John.
I have no idea what that's about. You're thinking of like Hello Governor?
No. I'll sing the full song for you later, but just like not now.
After this we start doing drinking games. Anyway, let the rest of the song play.
But I've seen as those tears fall when that music's sweet and low. Oh, Brother John, Brother John. 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 Brother John, Brother John.
It's like, who's that artist that this music sounds like? I mean, it sounds like his own music, this guy Daniel Rodriguez, but
I don't know. I'm usually pretty good at this game.
better than Brother John, whatever game?
No, this it does remind me of the drinking song, but I can't sing it right now, so it doesn't make sense to anyone else.
Anyway, I really liked that, and I liked the little story, and I do agree. I think music helps people get...
It's a bomb.
It's a bomb. I think music helps people get through hard times, and in his case, it was a relationship between both in his personal life, romantic life, and his band. And in a lot of ways, we have artists helping us get through COVID, social issues, like all these kind of things right now, and I appreciate it all.
Oh, music's been this for so much more than that. Music gets you through the hard shit. Music gets you through the good shit. Music, like, I don't know, whatever. We're music fans. It gets us through everything. You can find a song for anything, and like that's the beauty of it, right? Like any way that you're feeling. And I guess that's why I got so excited last week about talking about Jamie Wyatt, and she's been like putting out this new music. I'm talking with my hands, putting out this new music about, you know, being a gay country singer. Like, yes, put out more shit that people can relate to. Like there's so, I mean, for me as like a white, straight woman, there's tons of content out there for me. But like, if you're not that person and you have something to say, like say it. There's just so much out there, and music gets us through so much. I want to hear more from more voices. There's so many songs to be sung. And I get excited to be able to explore them on this show and to talk about it and to bring those to light if people haven't known about them, and maybe that feels relatable to them. But yes, you're right. I think music definitely has a way of getting us through almost anything we could ever encounter.
100%. So I have nothing else to say about that. How about one last song?
Yeah, I'm gonna go mainstream for a second. I'm gonna bring this.
Well, we did Taylor Swift last week. We can do anything at this point.
The Zac Brown Band. Yeah. Honestly,
you want to do Toes in the Water?
I just love them.
Yeah.
I just love them,
awesome.
and if you've seen them live, you know what I mean. They bring the vibe live. And they put out, this is their second single released during quarantine. This one I really love. The first one, The Man Who Loves You the Most, honestly, after the Jason Isbell song. So that song was about like raising a daughter. Mm-hmm. After the Jason Isbell song that he put out, and I can't remember the name of it. Right.
I don't remember.
About raising a daughter,
you
though.
Put me on the spot there. I failed.
This one is, I didn't love it. But Zac Brown Band has really redeemed themselves.
Letting You Go.
Oh, it's so good. Zac Brown Band has really redeemed themselves with this one in my eyes. Although that's not the popular opinion, because I think The Man Who Loves You the Most, like made it to number 1 on Billboard country charts. So people love it.
Yeah. I mean, Zac Brown Band.
Yeah. This one, I like this one better. So it's called You and Islands. And it's good. It's like a tropical little like feel good jam.
I can't believe that I just figured out the pun there. Okay.
I had to say it out loud for you.
Yeah. You and Islands by Zac Brown Band.
Something like this.
I love how Zac Brown Band songs start with some talking here and there. It's good.
Yeah.
Seen a share of ups and downs. Got so much going on, the whole world's going wrong. I wish that tide could reach us now, wash away all the gray. If you got the time, I got the place. Let's get back to you and Islands. The hum breeze blowing through your hair.
One of the things I really like about this song is that it's about quarantine.
Yeah.
But it's not really about quarantine.
Yeah, I would almost, unless you know this, I would almost bet that this started from like I can't wait till you and I could go to an island or something like that. And then like it evolved from there into a song that he could write in a way that isn't like so in your face quarantine-y, which I appreciate. There's some cringy songs out there that are about quarantine, and it's like, gotta make it a little bit, double meaning somewhere, right?
Yeah, that was just my favorite line that he just said. Last night I had a dream we were in quarantine and all the oceans turned to dust.
Whoa.
Right?
Creepy.
It's not super obvious. I mean, he says quarantine, but it's not like It's good. It's dreamy. It's about him thinking. It is optimistic, even though there's lines like that. The song is optimistic. It's got the like signature Zach Brown band foot tapping, good tempo. Anyways,
Yeah.
I really like this one.
It's funny because I like forget and there's probably some big Zach Brown fans that listen to the show. I imagine if you like this kind of genre.
Me.
Yes, but I always like forget about them in terms of how tight of a band they are, how good his voice is. Like they're really good, and I think it's to the point where like they're so big and so popular, it's almost like they're underrated at this point, which sounds crazy, but I feel like they genuinely are.
Yeah, I don't know. See him live.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say.
I've only seen them at
And it's
Fenway.
awesome.
I've only seen them at Fenway, and Fenway kind of sucks as a music venue because there's a giant metal wall that reflects all of the audio right off of it. So I need to see them somewhere else. And that was Talking Venues.
I swear I feel the chant singing in the sand. Listen to the roster band, the love we made that last night. Let's get back to you and islands. Everything, baby, everything will be alright.
That's it. We're out. The cat was just doing some funny stuff, so we were looking.
Oh, we didn't do a commercial.
No, you blew it. You didn't bring me an object.
Oh my God, well, this whole show was brought to you
What do you have?
by...
What is it? Hold on. Oh, the cat shaker. Yeah, okay. So, if your cat's keeping you up at night, you need to play with it with a cat toy.
What does it look like?
No, you don't need to do that. It's only like a 2-line ad.
Oh.
We'll catch you on the next one. Bye, seriously.